Hello guys, welcome back to yet another episode of Content Monsters, and in today's episode we are going to review the film Kandahar, released on Amazon Prime Video recently.
Just want to go home and I'll be with you.
Now Kandahar features Gerard Butler, Elnaz Nourazi, Travis Fimmel, Ali Fazal, Navid Negaban, Olivia Mai Barrett, Bahador Foladi, Tom Rhys Harris, Fahim Fazli, Nina Toussaint, Rebecca Calder, Ray Haratian, Corey Johnson, Mark Arnold, Vasilis Kukalani, Lee Comley and Najia Khan. Now Kandahar is about this secretive freelance CIA operative who's out there in Iran to figure out about their nuclear reactors and sabotage it. He's clearly a covert agent of the USA, and how he manages to get into that nuclear reactor, fit in a chip through which they can control that chip from the US and blast the reactor is how the film starts. He manages to do that and is about to leave Iran when his handler Roman reaches out to him that there is one last job for which he is willing to pay him an insane amount of money that he needs to do, but that job is based out of Herat in Afghanistan. He takes up the job very reluctantly because he has to reach out to his daughter's graduation function. He's already living a wrecked personal life. He's about to divorce his wife because the nature of his job entails a lot of dangerous travel. His family doesn't know if he's ever going to come back. His wife is drifted away from him. He's going to sign his divorce papers when he goes back to the US. This secret operative is played by Gerard Butler. Tom Harris is the character that he's playing, and he's bloody good at his job.
We're cutouts in an even bigger game. This is my life in your hands.
He's an ex-MI16 officer who's been loaned to the CIA. He reluctantly takes up this job. He goes to Afghanistan. He has along with him a translator who is going to help him with the locals so that he finishes this mission and comes back. But the moment he's about to leave for Afghanistan is when a journalist who had been tracking all these activities manages hold of some of the pictures of the facility through these people. She has been nabbed by the Iranian army, and this guy's pictures are now flashed all over television. He's also worried about what's going to happen because then the Iranians are after him, the Pakistanis will be after him, the Pakistani ISI, the ISIS will be after him, and the Afghans will be after him, the Talibanis. Because he's going to become a price catch in the international market. A lot of countries would be wanting him and they would then bargain for his price. Now, this is a very dangerous situation for him. His handler now tells him that he has to figure out a way to reach Kandahar. Now, the distance from Herat to Kandahar is around 8 hours. Now, how he and his translator manage this distance, how they manage to avoid and avert all of these different armies, different groups of people who have their own vested interests all linked to money in the region is what the rest of the film is all about. When I initially thought of seeing this film, this would be another Hollywood film which is all about glorification of the US Army and about caricaturizing some of the people in this part of the world. But thankfully that hasn't happened. To me, this film has been a bit of a pleasant surprise. I think it has a lot of the softer emotional moments also. The relationship between Tom and his handler Roman has been brought alive very well. It's not always transactional. Some of these agents and their handlers also have a special bond amongst them, which is quite reflective in the fact that Roman himself reaches Afghanistan to figure out a way to save Tom, and in the bargain he ends up losing his life. The relationship between Mo and Tom, Mo as in Muhammad the translator, and Tom is also something that has been explored very well. I think it's a very sensitive interaction between the two. Both try to understand their perspectives. Mo has been an inhabitant of Afghanistan and is fled to the US to live a normal life, but he came to Afghanistan to search for his wife's sister and take her back as well. The interaction between them, I think there are some very poignant moments in some of those interactions, so that also takes you pleasantly by surprise. So I think what works for the film, if you ask me, one, a lot of sensitive poignant moments you don't expect from Hollywood in films like these.
Any of them catch my guy, I'll sell him to the highest bidder.
The second thing that I think works for me is that there is no caricaturizing of some of the people from Iran or Pakistan or Afghanistan. There is, in a sense, also you see the human side behind some of those people. Third, I think the futility of war is also brought alive, because typically America tends to be the superhero in most of such films, but clearly the futility of war is also brought alive, and how it dehumanizes the people who stay in these war inflicted regions is also in a small way brought alive. Fourth, I think the fact that everyone has their own agenda which they pursue through war, whether it is a country invading those countries like the US does, or it is the countries which have been invaded, or the multiple other players who pounce in like a Pakistan or an Iran. So I think that aspect also has been brought alive, and invariably it is all about money, is that what clearly comes out. So I think more than just being a heroic film about this covert CIA agent somehow managing to flee from Afghanistan and coming out alive in the US, it is also about all of these points. I'm not saying it's a great film, but I think it's definitely much better than what I expected. It will take you by surprise. If I have to compare this with a recently released Extraction 2, where the action also is way over the top, I'd clearly give this a thumbs up.
The distance is not the main issue. It's what's in between.
Because even the action scenes here are very gritty, they are very raw, and that kind of works for you also as an audience. The film's editing is quite crisp, it's quite tight, it's not a long film, it ends before you get and lastly, I think one more strength of the film is the beauty of this terrain, whether it was Iran or whether it's Afghanistan, the way it has been shot, you almost feel like the terrain itself is one important character in the film. So I think these are some of the things that work very well for this film. What doesn't work possibly is how easily all of this is possible. I mean, for someone to go into a nuclear reactor in Iran, sabotage it, blast it, go to Afghanistan, manage to save himself from all sorts of people ranging from the ISI, the Pakistan intelligence services, to ISIS, to Taliban, to the Iranian army officers, just means a bit too much. How do two people manage to save themselves from all of these people and come alive is something a bit difficult to believe. And also, once the US has left Afghanistan soil, how do they exert this kind of control over Afghanistan that they're able to bomb them and get their team out safely from there? So I think there is a lot of convenience at certain points during the film where it becomes way too easy for them to do this. So these two things definitely don't cut ice for me, but like I said, it's not a great film, but it's definitely much better than what I expected. It does pleasantly surprise you. I think on the performances front, Gerard Butler is brilliant. I think Ali Fazal doesn't have a great role, but whatever limited role he has, he's done a fairly decent job of it, though one wishes that there was more depth and gravitas to the role itself, other than just showing him off riding a bike and showing off his helmet ruffled hair. Even the role of the translator Mo and the guy who plays Roman, I think even they've done a very, very good job, who is Gerard Butler's handler. So I think some of these performances also lift the film beyond a certain measure. But Gerard Butler, without a doubt, stands head and shoulders above the rest. He looks like someone who has been ravaged by years of experience in these war-torn areas. He seems very calm, cool, collected, but his face is reflective of the kind of work he's been doing in these war-torn areas. I think their full marks to the costume and the looks department of the team. Gerard Butler is bang on. He looks, walks, talks like a secret CIA operative. So clearly one of the biggest highlights of the film. My rating for this film would be a 6.5 on 10. Like I said, yes, I was pleasantly surprised on seeing this film. If you've seen the film, do let us know what you think of it. Whether you agree with our review or not, please do comment in the comment sections below. And if you like our review, please do subscribe to our channel for many, many more such reviews. We'll keep coming back. We'll see you soon. Thank you.